Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. Now it's real time, sponsored by the Mill Casino.
We're lucky enough to get Austin Moser from Austin's Northwest Adventures. He's over on the east side of Washington chasing triploid trout. They've already had a successful morning. Based on my numbers, I know that he wants to see more numbers. But Austin, how's it going this morning for you and your clients?
You know, it's going pretty good. We got that one big one right away. We're seeing a lot of fish around, and we haven't connected again yet, but that's kind of the way this goes over here. They come in waves, and we got some other spots we're going to try if this one don't pan out, but I can see them down there on the live scope. So they're here. We just got to get them to bite.
Well, we're showing the photo from this morning, everyone. If you're looking at that going, is that thing Photoshopped? No. That's what triploid trout look like. They're just massive fish with little tiny heads and great meat. How'd you actually catch it? What was the preferred bait for that particular fish?
Yeah, we were throwing some arrow jigs on that one. I got a lot of different stuff we used, but that one kind of fell for the old arrow jig, 1/4 ounce, little marabou type jig. I got one right here, and
oh, gotcha.
This one's a Hawken arrow jig.
Yeah,
and they work really well up here. You know, I use a lot of different ones and different styles, but I'll have a bunch of tools in my toolbox that we'll be trying. You know, I got a couple bait rods out. We're trying that. We'll try bobber rods, you know, all different things. We run spoons up here. It just depends on the time of the year, what they're looking for themselves, what they want to bite on. As the water warms up, presentations change. And as the water cools down, presentations change. So we're kind of in that zone right now where it's still kind of warm, but it's cooling off. So each day seems to be a little bit different, and we're kind of trying to get them and make it happen. We've been doing really well. We limited out yesterday. It was pretty good.
How's it been up to this point? You answered my question for how yesterday was, but prior to that, I know it's only been a short time that you've been chasing these things now, but has it been pretty productive like you would expect?
Yeah, we've been limiting out every day. Some days we're done by noon. Yesterday it took me till 3 o'clock. So we usually generally get them. It just takes us a little more time some days than others. So we have to bounce around a little bit, play with our presentations, you know.
Well, now let's talk a little bit about the regs. You said that you got that one this morning, that big 17-pounder on a jig, and you also said that you got some bait out there. If you catch a fish on bait, it's a little bit different than catching one. Look at that, see? I know there's a lot of people out there that are going, I don't even catch springers that big anymore.
You can see they clip them.
Yeah.
It's a hatchery.
Yeah.
And but they're triploids, so they're raised in a pen, and then they let them go. And so you can see their fins are a little bit deformed and stuff, and they get a little bit rounded off. But, man, what a fish right there. That is a stud fish. That's the biggest one of the year for us so far.
Wow.
Last year, our biggest was 26 pounds.
Wow.
And I seen a guy, one of my customers was fishing right next to me the other day. He caught a 24-pounder.
Holy
Pretty
shit.
awesome. Yeah.
And, again, going back to the bait thing, if you catch them on bait, you have to retain them.
If you catch fish, if you catch them on bait, bait or scent, you have to retain those fish. You can't let them go. But fortunately for us, this time of year, they don't let go any of the smaller ones. So pretty much every fish you catch is one you're probably going to want to keep anyway. Most of them are 4 to 6 pounds on the smaller side. And then a lot of them are 6 to, like that one, 17 pounds or bigger, you know. So a lot of times we try to get at least one for everybody in the boat. And then we can take the bait rods out of the water and just continue to fish and look for those big ones. But generally this time of year, we're getting all the fish we're catching are pretty much keepers. You know, they're nice fish.
Are those we're showing you some of the photos that Austin has on his website, everyone, and you can see the fillets, and obviously there's a reason why he's displaying those the way that he is. These fish cut like a spring Chinook for a lot of people. I mean, even brighter than a lot of folks that might catch some of the later Willamette spring Chinook. But they also are one of the best table fare. It's just not, they just don't look good. They are good.
Oh, they're awesome. Super oily. When you look at those fillets, they're all marbled like a prime rib, you know. It's like they're the prime rib of the fish world. And when you smoke them up, there's so much oil in them, you can't even dry them out. And they're just super good, full of omega-3s, and just one of the best eating red meat fish there is.
And as a hatchery fish, everyone, it's just a really cool fishery. There's no question about that. Is it a popular fish? I know this is one of the questions that I ask every year, because whenever we get you up, luckily we get good video with Austin. It doesn't look like there's anybody ever around you. It seems like you pretty much got the place to yourself.
You know, this is Sunday. There's a few boats out today, but you know, this early season, January, things like that, there's not a ton of people out. You know, the weather conditions can be very, very not great. You know, so everybody can get cold and things like that. So it's not as popular until later in January and February, when people really start getting out here and everybody's getting excited about it because everybody's catching fish. So once the word gets out, then it seems like we get more and more people coming, and so yeah, it's popular. But during the week, it's a lot less people. But on the weekends, we tend to have more people.
Do you see a lot of folks migrating over there from different areas? You know, either be from Idaho, other parts, Washington, Oregon. I mean, a lot of other folks kind of utilizing it, or is it just locals that take advantage of it?
You know, there's quite a few people that come here that are locals that fish this kind of regularly. I see the same boats all the time, and they're usually pretty good fishermen. They get on those fish. But we do have guys that travel in from the west side and they come over and they want to do these fish, because a lot of their steelhead fisheries aren't very good with the problems they've been having. But so yeah, definitely get some people from the west side. We get some people from down your way. I had some guys here from Longview the other day. I had some guys from Vancouver. So we definitely do get quite a few people migrating up this way to fish with us, and also just people doing it on their own. I get a lot of people that want to learn it, and then they bring their boats and they go and do it themselves. Which
obviously doesn't put too much pressure on that fishery, since it's a put and take kind of fishery.
Yeah, they plant a ton of these fish in here every year, and there's a lot of them to be had. So it's a good fishery. Now,
before I got to cut to a quick break here, but like that fish that you just showed us, that 17-pound triploid, everyone, this is live, everyone, 9/17 on the 5th of January. This is not recorded. This isn't last year. This is today. Yeah. How old is that fish, do you think?
You know, it's hard saying, but I'm guessing that fish is probably 4 to 5 years old.
Okay.
They grow really fast in this section. And so there's a lot of food around. It's a thriving ecosystem with all the different food that gets into the water, because they have some net pens in this area that feed fish, and some of that food gets through the net pens. Well, then you got crawdads and all the different little things that the trout can eat are feeding on that as well. So it's just a good environment for growing big fish.
Obviously, everyone, take a look at the photo and the smile on her face. I mean, that is just a toad of a fish. I just hope I can run across this. Once I start steelhead fishing this year, okay, in my own defense, I haven't really done that yet. I hope I can come across one that's anywhere near that. I mean, what a dandy of a fish. They're fighters too, aren't they?
Yeah, he was bulldogging really hard. Those big fish, they tend to try to stay under the boat, so it's hard to get them out from under there. And, you know, I'm running light tackle. We're running 7.6 rod that's what is it? It's a 4 to 10 power rating. And so it's like a noodle. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. I can tell. By the smile. Well, he's famous for his smile anyway, but also for putting smiles on his client's face. Doesn't matter if it's at buoy 10 or as far over as you could get, which is basically where he's at now, to that particular fishery for triploids. But Austin, don't go anywhere. I want to talk about how you're going after them. I see that you've got your bow mount out. I want to talk about trolling. Are you staying stationary? And cover a couple of techniques that you like to do. Okay, Austin? So stick with us, everyone. Yeah. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Austin Moser from Austin's Northwest Adventures. And he is live this morning over on the east side of Washington. I love that. What a beautiful fish. We'll be right back.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by P-Line, Because We Fish, by Hawken Fishing, Perfection in Fishing Gear, and by Haxton's Canvas and Upholstery, the trusted name of the Pacific Northwest.